I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Welcome back to Fact Me Up channel. In today's video, we're going to deep dive into the world of Breaking Bad and uncover 13 fascinating facts about this iconic TV series. From its gripping plot twists to its complex characters, Breaking Bad has left an indelible mark on pop culture. Join us as we explore the behind-the-scenes secrets and trivia that make this show an enduring masterpiece. While Breaking Bad ultimately ended up being largely about the tumultuous partnership between Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, Jesse wasn't originally intended to be a major character on the show. Show creator Vince Gilligan planned to kill off the character of Jesse by the 9th episode of the first season, but reconsidered in doing so by the second episode. He was impressed by Aaron Paul's portrayal of Jesse, as well as everybody just liking Paul, and decided to reinstate the character and have Jesse's fate be given to another character in the finale of the first season. When asked during a Reddit AMA about how he would have felt if Jesse had been killed off in season 1, Paul posited that my career would be over, and I would be a sobbing mess binge-watching week-to-week Breaking Bad. It's impossible to imagine Breaking Bad with anyone other than Bryan Cranston in the lead role, but he wasn't as well known when the series kicked off and AMC wanted a star, and were particularly interested in casting either Matthew Broderick or John Cusack in the lead. We all still had the image of Bryan shaving his body in Malcolm in the Middle. A former AMC executive told The Hollywood Reporter about their initial reluctance to cast Cranston. But Gilligan had worked with Cranston before, on an episode of The X-Files, and knew he had the chops to navigate the quirks of the part. So Gilligan showed executives the tapes of Cranston's performance on the 1990s series, and the rest was history. We needed somebody who could be dramatic and scary yet have an underlying humanity, so when he dies, you felt sorry for him. And Bryan nailed it on The X-Files, Gilligan said. The filming location for Walter White's house in Breaking Bad became a tourist attraction in Albuquerque. But for the occupants, the sensation around their home became so frustrating they ended up building a fence around it. In 2017, the homeowner's daughter Joan Quintana told KOB4 News in Albuquerque that the number of visitors to her home was ridiculous, and that she lost count of how many people would come to take a photo each week. She also said that tourists would do things like take rocks from her landscaping, get demanding about their photos, and even toss pizzas on the roof, just like Walter White did on the show. In 2015, show creator Vince Gilligan appealed to the show's fan base to refrain from throwing pizzas onto the home's roof. Quintana said she had a 6-foot-tall wrought iron fence installed in 2017, but told KOB4 that during construction she still had fans climbing the fence to get their photo. In 2016, a 55-year-old man named Walter White rose to the top of Alabama's most wanted list for manufacturing and selling meth. Though White wasn't a teacher, there have been other real-life stories that mirrored Walter White's descent into the criminal underworld. In 2012, a chemistry teacher named William Duncan was arrested for selling meth, and in 2011 Irina Christie, a 74-year-old math professor, was arrested for running a meth lab.
Coincidence? I think not!
Because of the subject matter, the show's creators thought it was only right to inform the DEA what they were making and welcome their help. Show creators informed them with all due respect and consideration that they were doing this show, and asked whether they would like to be a part of it in a consultancy in order to make sure they get it right. DEA had a choice to decline it, but they saw that it might be in their best interest to make sure that the creators do it correctly. So DEA chemists came on board as consultants and taught Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston how to make crystal meth. Walt and Jesse are shown throughout the series making methamphetamine in great detail. However, viewers could not learn how to make meth just by watching the show. In a 2011 interview with NPR, organic chemist and science advisor to the show Donna Nelson said key elements to the meth-making process were eliminated from Breaking Bad to keep people from attempting it at home. That was actually one of the concerns of a lot of people, but Vince Gilligan has been very clever. If you just simply followed the one synthesis as it's presented, you wouldn't come out with methamphetamine, Nelson said. On the second season of Breaking Bad, Walter White famously throws a pizza onto the roof of his home. In a 2012 interview on Jimmy Kimmel, Cranston said the production team had set aside hours to get the shot, which he ended up completing in one take. When fans saw an unsliced pizza swirl into the air to land perfectly on the roof, they were a little confused, wondering what pizza place sells unsliced pizza. But in a 2017 Reddit AMA, Vince Gilligan explained that he and the production team knew eagle-eyed fans would catch this, so they added a scene to explain the situation.
What gimmick?
This place, they don't cut their pizza and they pass the savings on to you.
What savings? How much can it be to cut a damn pizza?
Cranston told IndieWire in 2018 that the Season 2 scene where Walt purposely watches Jesse's girlfriend Jane die, even though he could save her, was the hardest moment for him to film. He said he pictured actor Kristen Ritter, who played Jane, as his own daughter and couldn't control his emotions after the scene was cut. In a split second, Kristen's face lost all characteristics, and out of that came the face of my real daughter choking to death, Cranston said. Once the director cut, he recalled, "I'm a weeping mess. Fortunately, you have your family around you, and I went at Anna Gunn, who played Skylar White, and she held me. But in the end, that's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to replicate real life and honesty and what it's like, and that's what I did." In a 2013 Reddit AMA, Paul shared that he was knocked unconscious with a concussion and sent to the hospital as a result of a fight scene gone wrong. Tuco takes Jesse and he throws him through the screen door outside. And if you watch it back, you'll notice that Aaron's head gets caught inside the wooden screen door and it flips him around and lands on his stomach. Raymond Cruz, who played Tuco, just thought Paul was acting, so he continued and kicked him in the side, picked him up over his shoulder, and threw him against the house. But in reality, Aaron was already pretty much unconscious during that time. "The next thing I know, I guess I blacked out and I woke up to a flashlight in our eyes, and it was our medic, and they eventually took me to the hospital," Paul said. On Season 1, Walt and Jesse use hydrofluoric acid to dissolve a body in a bathtub. In addition to the body, the acid eats through the tub and ceiling, leading to a massive mess crashing down onto the first floor. Mythbusters tested this method on pig flesh in 2013 and determined that although hydrofluoric acid did help break down the tissue, it didn't liquefy it as thoroughly as was shown in the episode. The Mythbusters team also proved that the acid couldn't even make a dent in the bathtub or drywall material. During the show's first season, Walter White's son Walt Jr. creates a fundraising website called SaveWalterWhite.com to help pay for his dad's cancer treatment. The website, which is run by AMC, is actually a real site and is still up and running. Fans of the show on Reddit say that the site has been active since the night the episode aired in 2009. The Click Here to Donate button initially directed users to the National Cancer Coalition, and Breaking Bad fans had donated $125,000 to the charity by 2012. In 2013, the site was linked to AMC's own website after it was dubbed as one of America's worst charities by the Center for Investigative Reporting. The site still links to AMC to this day and had more than 160,000 visitors in the last 28 days. Whenever you see Walter and Jesse's signature blue meth, what you're actually seeing is blue rock candy. More specifically, blue rock candy from the Candy Lady, a boutique candy store in Albuquerque. They have a whole line of Breaking Bad-inspired treats, which they sell under the Bad Candy Lady line. Before the multi-Emmy award-winning series found a home on AMC, it was passed on by some of the biggest networks. Reportedly, FX was afraid the show was too similar to other series it had which featured male anti-heroes. And Showtime execs supposedly said the concept sounded a lot like their show Weeds, about a woman who secretly grows and sells marijuana. In 2011, Gilligan also recalled his pitch meeting with HBO as one of the worst he ever experienced. The woman that they were pitching the series to could not have been less interested.
And the woman we're pitching to could not have been less interested.
And Gilligan's agents could not get her on the phone afterward to even say no.
And my agents could never even get her on the phone afterward to even say no.
Luckily, AMC saw potential in the show, and the rest is history.
This is the 5th Emmy win and 12th nomination for Bryan Cranston.